Whenever you broadcast anything to millions of people, every detail will receive some level of scrutiny. So there is always someone complaining. There is always some controversy, but some broadcasts take it to a whole new level and cause international outrage. Two years ago, Discovery Channel aired a show in which a man attempted to be eaten by a snake. The plan was for him to wear a metal suit of armor so that the anaconda would not kill him. They wanted him to be swallowed alive, head first, and survive. This was condemned by animal rights groups who claimed it was abuse. Discovery Channel claimed the whole thing was to promote conservation. The man was smeared in pig's blood to ensure the snake attacks him. The worst part is that he was never even eaten. When it got too painful, he backed out. Last year, TLC aired a reality show called My Husband's Not Gay. It basically features a group of gay Mormons who pretend to be heterosexual. They don't call themselves gay, but they admit finding other men attractive. They all hang around in one big group, and some of them even have wives and children. Their wives get really offended when anyone thinks they are gay, which makes the whole thing quite funny. The show caused controversy for obvious reasons. The Wild Wild West was about two Secret Service agents working in the Old West. To our modern eyes, it's a pretty dull show, with unrealistic use of violence and special effects. But it was aired during the 1960s, when people were easily freaked out, especially politicians. The US Congress singled out the Wild Wild West as being particularly dangerous. They thought it was a bad influence on young people, so Congress made a deal with CBS to have the show cancelled. They thought the reason someone shot Martin Luther King was because of shows like this one. Fear Factor was among the first reality shows. In each episode, people would compete for $50,000 by doing things that scare them. Such things could be anything from skydiving to drinking 5 gallons of donkey piss. Joe Rogan hosted the show and would openly mock the contestants. Some of the more controversial challenges involved eating live insects. Fear Factor was ultimately cancelled after contestants were challenged to drink donkey semen. It was a great show. 2 years ago, Adult Swim aired their first ever non-animated show, Black Jesus. The premise of the show is that Jesus Christ returns to Earth and is now living in Compton. He doesn't do much other than grow marijuana with his friends and use the N-word a lot. This is of course controversial in the eyes of religious groups. I just don't think they are ready to hear Jesus dropping N-bombs. At first, Squirrel and Hedgehog seems like an innocent children's cartoon, but really it's a North Korean propaganda show. You might wonder why the North Korean people are always so loyal to their dictator. It's because they have their children watch TV shows like this. The squirrel and his community of other animals represent North Korea. Japan and America are represented by evil weasels. The weasels are always attempting to disrupt the utopian community where the squirrel lives. Despite being a children's cartoon, the show features some incredibly violent scenes. It's basically teaching that capitalist nations are full of savages who need to be killed. Moving on to a quite different cartoon, South Park is even more controversial. To be more controversial than a North Korean propaganda show is quite impressive. Its creators have used the show to mock everyone, from the Church of Scientology to Mexicans. They describe themselves as equal opportunity offenders. as in they make jokes at the expense of all groups of people. Their biggest controversy came in 2001 when they depicted the Islamic prophet Muhammad. We all know depicting Muhammad is a dangerous thing, but they did run the episode, and a lot of people went mental. I was tempted to list this show as number 1, as it was cancelled before it was aired. Not a single episode of the show has ever been run on TV. All My Baby's Mamas showcases the life of a rapper called Shouty Low, or Shoti Low. Instead of his career in music, the show focuses on him having 11 children by 10 different women. So before the show was run, campaigners wanted it cancelled, saying it glamorizes bad parenting. A few years ago, Channel 4 ran a documentary series called Benefit Street. It's about a group of people living on welfare in the same neighborhood. It's pretty dull, basically showing people do nothing all day. The show is only noteworthy for the controversy it caused. The Office of Communications investigated the show, thinking it was an illegal production. It turned out to be legal, but that was only the end to one controversy. A lot of people thought it was an immoral production, as it was insensitive to those in poverty. Until recently, there was a popular show called Australia's Funniest Home Videos, where viewers would send in their own footage. This inspired a different show called Australia's Naughtiest Home Videos, in which people would send in some quite different footage. It wasn't usually porn, but it wasn't far from it. The show was actually cancelled while the pilot episode was being shown. It was the quickest cancellation of any TV show, until All My Baby's Mamas took its place.